1. Hook, ever wondered when it's time to move back from AWS Lambda to EC2? You're not alone. Many startups and beginners face this dilemma. Knowing when to pivot back to EC2 can save you time, money, and headaches. 3. The simple explanation at its core: AWS Lambda is designed for short-lived tasks that respond quickly to events. It's great for handling bursts of traffic, but it comes with limitations. For example, Lambda functions can time out after 15 minutes, and they have a cold start issue that can slow down performance. EC2, on the other hand, is more flexible. It allows for persistent server instances and can handle long-running processes without the constraints of Lambda. When should you switch? Look for these signs: increased costs from Lambda usage, performance bottlenecks, growth in user base, more complex workflows, need for a consistent environment. 4. Real-world example: let's look at a startup called QuickShop. They launched an e-commerce platform using AWS Lambda for their checkout process. Initially, everything ran smoothly. They handled around 100 transactions per minute without issues. However, as their marketing took off, they quickly grew to 1,000 transactions per minute during sales events. QuickShop started facing problems. Their Lambda functions began timing out because they exceeded the 15-minute execution limit during high-demand hours. Additionally, cold starts were causing delays, frustrating customers. Their AWS bill skyrocketed to $3,000 a month, mainly from Lambda invocation costs, which were 30% higher than expected. After discussions, they decided to transition back to EC2. They set up a dedicated server for their checkout process, which allowed for better control over performance and costs. Their bill dropped to $1,500 a month, and customer satisfaction soared. 5. What to do instead if your situation resembles QuickShop's? Here's a step-by-step framework to transition from Lambda back to EC2. 1. Assess your usage. Analyze your current Lambda costs. If you're exceeding $1,000 a month, it's time to consider alternatives. Check the number of invocations. If it's consistently above 1 million per month, start thinking about EC2. 2. Identify performance bottlenecks. Monitor Lambda execution times. If functions regularly approach the 15-minute timeout, you need a different approach. Look at logs for cold start delays. If you're seeing delays of more than 200 milliseconds, it's a sign of trouble. 3. Evaluate your architecture. Review your application's architecture. Are you using multiple Lambda functions to handle complex workflows? Simplifying may not be feasible. Consider the need for persistent storage. If your functions rely heavily on temporary storage, an EC2 instance with EBS might be more suitable. 4. Select the right EC2 instance. Choose an instance type based on your needs. For a startup, a T2. Medium instance can handle moderate traffic and costs around $30 per month. Use AWS's pricing calculator to estimate costs based on expected traffic. 5. Migrate your workloads. Start with non-critical tasks to test your EC2 setup. Gradually move your main application functionalities. Ensure everything works as expected before fully committing. 6. Monitor and optimize. Use CloudWatch to monitor your EC2 instances. Optimize your EC2 utilization by right-sizing instances as your traffic changes. 6. Common mistakes. Here are 5 common mistakes companies make when transitioning back from Lambda to EC2, along with how to avoid them. 1. Not analyzing costs properly. Jumping to EC2 without thorough cost analysis. Use AWS Cost Explorer to see where the money is going. Make sure your EC2 costs will indeed be lower. 2. Ignoring performance metrics. Not measuring performance before switching. Implement monitoring tools to track execution times and cold starts on Lambda. 3. Underestimating EC2 setup complexity. Assuming EC2 is just like Lambda. Prepare for operational overhead. Create a deployment pipeline using tools like AWS Code Deploy. 4. Over-provisioning resources. Selecting larger EC2 instances than necessary. Start small with T2.micro or T2.small instances. Scale up only when metrics indicate the need. 5. Neglecting security configurations. Forgetting to secure your EC2 instances. Set up security groups and IAM roles correctly. Implement best practices for network security. 7. Quick checklist before you switch. Use this checklist to ensure you're ready. Analyze Lambda costs. Identified performance bottlenecks. Reviewed application architecture. Selected appropriate EC2 instance types. Set up monitoring for your new EC2 environment. 8. Summary plus CTA. Switching from Lambda back to EC2 isn't a failure, it's a strategic move. By understanding your workload and costs, you can make informed decisions that benefit your startup. If you found this guide helpful, drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe for more practical tech insights.